I'm sure you've got so much great information in terms of, say, in terms of romantic relationships for women, what are some of the red flags of narcissistic abuse that women often overlook
Mm.
and normalize? I think that's a big pain point, is how normalized it can be and keep us stuck.
There's a ton of red flags when we deal with toxic relationships on all levels, for sure. There's many times where people will normalize the abuse, and that's where sometimes the work that I do will be in romantic relationships or different partnerships, but sometimes they'll even go back to childhood simply because there's a comfort level that happens, right?
Mm.
But you don't get into a toxic relationship being like, here's the relationship. He's going to mentally, emotionally abuse me. Let's do that. Right. But sometimes they run into a relationship simply because that feels comfortable
Hmm.
compared to how they were treated as a child. So, one of the things I would say, there's a couple of things I'd mention with that are overlooked or like normalized. One of them would just be like a constant self doubt that's there. That's kind of
Mm.
emanating throughout their world of like, did I overreact? Like, was I too much? Was I actually too emotional? Like, did I respond too much to what he was saying? Because that just becomes like a daily piece inside of a woman's world where she's constantly second guessing herself when she's worried about how it's going to affect or how it's going to treat someone else. And that's where you step into the place where she's managing not just her emotions, but she's having to manage the narcissist emotions. She's having to kind of balance both of those, which produces oftentimes that feeling of just walking on eggshells, like trying to figure out, how do I move through life without breaking something, or eggshells, I would say maybe even landmines, right? Like, how do I walk through this battlefield and not blow my foot off because he's going to rage at me because I said something wrong? And when you're dealing in a toxic relationship and you're managing both partners' emotions, like yours and someone else's, there is no winning.